maybe even a more reliable carry-style jungler. There's a lot of options available.
Yeah, and we have loaded into pick ban phase for game number 2. It's Vici Gaming versus Snake, and after a rough start in game number 1, leading to an eventual loss, this time it's Vici Gaming on the blue side. You can see the bans coming through right fast. Interestingly enough, Flandre's Fizz being taken away, and the Rek'Sai banned too.
Dandy's Rek'Sai removed from his own team by himself. I guess he doesn't want to play that one again.
He could hear the coach saying, yeah, you go back to Rek'Sai, and he's like, nah. Oh.
Sorry, did you say ban it? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got rid of the Rek'Sai, taking it away because they are first pick this time. So they've got a bigger priority on their minds than that of just the Rek'Sai. Perhaps it's the Gragas that they're looking for. Perhaps it's not that at all, and they're looking more towards the Azir.
Yeah, Echo's still up on the map as well. Azir again taken away from Pahang. So now the tough choice is, how do Vici start this off? Because Hecarim's on the board. You can't leave that open for Flandre.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of options for the Flandre top laner here from Snake, but in saying that, the fact that they banned away the Rek'Sai, the fact that they picked the Gragas as a priority last time, might be where they go to again for World 6, so that ZZR can't take that away from him.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides to commit to. It's a Janna.
Okay. They've locked in the Janna. They're giving ZZR exactly what he wants.
Yeah, going back to that AP Echo as he's hovering it right now, and Flandre's got his pick of the litter as well. Oh, looks like he's going to go back to Shen. Hey, if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, do what works is definitely what they're going to go for here.
Yeah, Echo locked in once again for ZZR, and there's going to be the Shen now locked in for Flandre. Looks like Vici are actually taking a page out of Snake's book this time around. World 6 looking to get back onto that Gragas, his atypical jungler style. Xuan looking to steal away the Vayne from Martin.
I hope he goes for this Vayne. It's something that we said they were sorely missing in their last drafting phase. Something that they do need to adapt to in this particular one. Shows a nice coaching staff in terms of adaptation, the way they wanted to change it up. They have locked it in, so now if they pick a very similar playstyle, they do have someone to look to. They have a focal point, something that can carry them through.
Yeah, on the other side though, Martin immediately hovering that Jinx. He is so very good at it, as you might have noticed in the previous game. Unlike Crystal, who will just dash in and kill people, Martin is more of a position-based AD carry. And this fits his playstyle much more closely and much more accurately. Thresh now being covered by you for Ella. And Snake look once again to sort of play a similar style to what they played in game number 1, which again is a huge evolution for them.
That is how it feels so far from the drafting. We have to keep in mind the mid laner's hand has not been revealed just yet, and it is the crux of what a team comp generally wants to do. They've got the Shen to protect someone, they've got the hyper carry in the bot lane right now, and ZZR on that Echo is the pseudo carry. He does a lot of work, puts in a lot of damage, but is not going to be the catalyst of the team's victory. He's going to be the enabler. So missing their mid lane still Snake, they could go for a very high damage option on the assumption that Pong's probably going to go for the exact same thing as he did last game. They might make 2 adaptations here though, but if you're looking at a mid lane response from Snake, they're going to wait and see what Vici want to do.
Yeah, you can see Mata looking at the Gnar right now for Dandy, and once again, as you mentioned, Pong looking at Lulu to go back into the same thing in the mid lane. Gnar locked in for Dandy to try dealing with Shen, and Lulu. It seems a bit late to switch it up right now, because as a Lulu, yeah, that does fit into the team comp.
Definitely, the team comp is probably what it should have been in the first game. They've got the Gnar now in the top lane, still deals with Flandre quite well, is always going to have the teleport to be relevant, and in terms of direct team fighting with the teleports, Gnar always does more than a Shen. He's going to be able to do a lot of work in that respect. The mini Gnar wins lane. It's just a more well-rounded team comp. They've got more threats, they've got more carry capabilities, as well as what they still had in the last game, and that is movement around the map. So I like the adaptation here from Vici, the fact that they're doing exactly what they did in the last game, but they've made it seemingly stronger against what Snake did in the last game, that they're doing very similar this time.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Vici if they are able to pull a victory out in this one, because they desperately need points. Currently it's 24-20, as Snake are now tied for 3rd. They've moved up a whole place in the standings after that win, whereas Vici currently still tied for 7th at 20 points. And the Twisted Fate is going to be locked in for you. very strong pickup there.
Definitely. It reveals that Vayne, when she's invisible with her ultimate as well, that's always going to be an added bonus to that pick. It gives a lot of mobility around the map. And now you would say that Snake, they're okay with a lane swap. They're okay with Vici putting that into effect, because if towers go down, Twisted Fate's kill threat increases exponentially. He's got more room to move to hit more gold cards before they're in a safety point.
Yeah, you can see all of the players on your screen chatting excitedly as we prepare to load into game number 2 between Vici and Snake. The final lineups are on your screen on the sides, and again, Snake looking very strong coming into this one. Amazing team fight out of this team, amazing long-range poke as well, not to mention some split push. They really have everything going for them. And the question is, how are they going to play the style out? Do they go back to what worked for them in game number 1, or do they go back to the tried and true murder train?
Yeah, so they may just go straight for that murder train option this time. They do have the Twisted Fate to change things up, but we'll start with the top laners. Yeah,
it's Dandy and Flandre. Gnar versus Shen looks to be an exciting matchup, as he might actually commit to that this time around. World 6 versus ZZR right now. And in the mid lane, Pong and Yu. With that Lulu once again, and Yu looking to trade it out a little bit more aggressively with that Twisted Fate.
Yeah, weaker laning phase, but still very good roaming capabilities. The Snake might be changing their playstyle, but we're looking at the bottom lane now. And it's not necessarily interactive by any means, but Ella will try and make it so.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out Ella on that Thresh. We'll keep an eye on whether or not he can land the hooks right now. And I guess the question is, should we be expecting a lane swap once again out of this matchup?
So Vici, they do like lane swaps, and we can see that Snake have well and truly adapted their pick and ban phase to be okay with the lane swaps happening, to find some strengths of their own in doing so, unlock the rest of the team. The mid laner indirectly getting unlocked could work for them.
Yeah, well, we're getting onto the Rift for game number 2 right now. And we have loaded onto the Rift. Welcome back, everyone. It's Vici Gaming versus Snake. We're week 9, day 2, set number 1, game number 2, 23 seconds in.
I don't know how you manage to do that every time.
It's not that hard. It's just like remembering the day of the week, which is...
So it's hard.
Okay, yeah.
No, you're right. We're on the Rift, and you can see something we just questioned prior to actually getting into this game is if they'll look to lane swap. From what we can see so far, Snake putting down a lot of early map movement around the lane swap areas.
Uh-oh.
Probably about to walk into a Vici, though.
Yeah, seems like they might be. They're running forward now, spotted by the ward. Is Flandre going to dash in? He's got to have to drop the trinket. He doesn't have it. Flandre takes some damage. A good 2-man taunt plus pull finds World 6, but Flandre's brought low. A huge 3-man stun from ZZR saves Snake as they back away. Red card coming out as well. ZZR's got to be careful. Oh, he doesn't flash in time. Takes the slow. Oh, here it goes. They're trying to chase. Schwan is chasing forward. Heal being used. ZZR goes low. Taunted flash over the wall. He keeps ZZR alive. He's making it under the turret. Oh, Yu doesn't have the stun in time. Oh my gosh. That's first blood. Vici Gaming.
So much used to ensure they get the kill. The Janna no flash. Vayne knows someone is remaining, and World 6 no flash himself. In response, though, the Shen and Echo did use their own respective flashes, and they still got the first blood onto Vayne of all people. Shun's now picked up a long sword for his laning phase. That's going to be nice, except that he is against nobody.
Yeah, he's got an empty lane on that bottom side, and the coordination between all of Snake was so precise, stopping auto attack after auto attack, burning summoner spell after summoner spell, but Yu was half a second behind on landing that last stun in order to keep ZZR standing. And with that, it is first blood to Vici Gaming, and looks like Snake actually opting into a lane swap this time.
Yeah, Snake were the ones to put that into effect. You could see the early aggression and invade from Snake did backfire, and they did deserve to live, I'll be honest. They deserved that. It was working so well for them, but not the end result that they wanted. Instead, the lane swap was still put into effect. That was something they were looking to do originally, so they secured that one from happening. Ella just being a pest, and Dandy and World 6 are going to do exactly what they always do together.
Yeah.
That last hit jungle creeps.
Going for that double jungle right now. Martin, as he looks to free farm on the top side, he's actually setting up a very slow push. So we might be able to time that with ZZR and Flandre if they look to put pressure on the bottom side. You can see Vici actually going for something similar, skipping over the Direwolf camp so they can get to that bottom side just a bit faster, and they might actually be able to get a 3 buff here.
Yeah, they're actually going immediately for that, and the problem is the focus is in the top side of the map here from Snake, so they do have to immediately give that one up. They get to start the blue because they won that level 1 fight, so they won control, they deserve that blue buff, and now they can make the rotations to where their bottom lane is, an area where Snake didn't want to be because they want to be top pushing. They get the 3 buff start. It's a fantastic beginning for Vici Gaming. We'll see if they can actually translate that into anything further, because stylistically, both teams are doing the exact same thing as the last game, but both teams have made adaptations in drafting to ensure they get what they're looking for.
And in playstyles as well. Vici expecting the 5-man invade from Snake and coming out on top because of it, picking that first blood up onto Xuan. Ooh, Mata actually taking a few turret hits right there. He's going to take one more, and he goes down, and the turret actually is dropped in time. First turret goes over to Vici.
Yeah, they pick up the first turret, aggressively tanking it to ensure it does go down. So not denying all of the minions possible, but not necessarily needing to, as they're going to look for a rotation themselves, I would imagine, back towards that top lane on the assumption that Snake aren't going to be there after this turret falls.
Oh, he's able to bounce it. Yep, pretty solid play out of Martin as that turret is answered. Those Snake are just a little bit behind when it's all said and done. And yeah, there goes the recall as it looks exactly as you predicted, Rusty. They're sending Martin and Ella. Oh no,
They've
back
changed
to the
it up.
top side.
So they've got 4 members actually working back around the top side. Not entirely sure what the plan is for Snake here and why they're sending all of their members to one lane where there's no dragon.
Oh, they had deep wards that spotted out Dandy. Headed to that side of the map. They could be looking for a kill.
It's going to be so difficult for them to find a kill. I think they're looking for the 2v1 still. They saw Dandy swap back. They didn't want to be in the 2v2 against the Vayne, but in saying that, they may just come back around and try and find a kill. Vici, no, they're picking up top.
Yeah, you would have seen Jinx on the bottom side of the map right now, but you still haven't. And yeah, Vici playing it nice and safe. As you mentioned, Dandy falls back. And Martin Xuan actually continues to freeze on the bottom side. Martin finally shows himself. So now Vici have got Snake pegged down. And things are going to go nice and slow. But as you said, they seed over that first dragon.
Yeah, so a lot of the focus from Snake has been on getting Martin farm and ensuring that they're not getting the 2v2. But by doing so, they've not only sacrificed a 3-buff start for Vici, they've given away the first dragon now at 6 minutes into this game.
Yeah, pretty solid start for Vici Gaming. They've got first blood and that first dragon and even the first turret. Seems like we might have a different pace coming out of Vici Gaming. And if you remember the stats from when we were in the very beginning, in the previous 6 games that Vici and Snake have played against each other, Vici have won 5-1.
Yeah.
And this is now 5-2 as Snake were able to take the previous one. But if matchup's history is any indicator, Vici are very comfortable playing against Snake.
And if the start of this game is anything to go off either, it's the fact that Vici have started strong to their style.
Yeah, action on the bottom side. Xuan actually forced to flash away. Condemn finds ZZR. Heal gets him out of there, and Xuan actually is going to run to safety.
Yeah, managing to live there is very good for this Vayne, of course. Having the boots too as the first item by a big factor in that. It's going to be quite nice for living. So very well done and very smart to actually have the boots to try and push down turrets as soon as possible and get that mobility to work around the tanks and the junglers all being in your face.
Yeah, no summoner spells burned out of Snake on that gank as 3 members were on that bottom side. And looks like Ella, once again, as you mentioned, is roaming around the map. He is going to spot World 6 dashing over the wall. But just heads back to the top side in order to help Martin trade it out with Dandy just a little bit more.
Yeah, the fact that Dandy is 1v1ing Martin as well, giving Dandy a lot of free farm, has found 15 over his respective, I call it lane opponent, but it's definitely not a lane opponent right now. It's just an opponent in that tank role, basically, of Flandre. So finding a nice lead, getting some nice solo farm, as Flandre started to do the same thing himself after a gank that hit in the bot lane, forcing Vayne out of lane. Everything's starting to reset again.
Yeah, things are finally starting to calm down just a bit. And it looks like there are some assistance pings going down on the bottom side for Vici. Once again, they see the duo for Schwan and Mata.
No one can assist you that deep, Vici.
Yeah, exactly. Especially onto Flandre's Shen, as he's got a very different start this game around. Huang actually getting a moderate advantage over you as he's just harassing him under the turret and getting some turret damage across. If he can bring that thing down, that would be huge.
If Pong's played against a Victor and translate that same playstyle towards the TF, you're going to have a fantastic laning phase, and that is what he's doing right now. Ensuring that whilst he's not able to kill anybody because he is a Lulu, has the Ignite, the pressure's there, and he can definitely still put down that damage to ensure that you cannot utilize his ultimate as often as he would otherwise like and disappear.
There goes the Dark Passage as 4 members of Snake are on the bottom side of the map. They're just going to get you his blue buff. Looks like Vici might contest it, but they're not quite there in time. It is successfully secured by Snake. Hook spots Mata, but just zones him away. And everyone goes back to sitting back nice and comfortably. However, Schwan shows himself now in mid lane along with Mata. Some directional pings actually headed to the top side. They could be looking to time that wave on the top side of the map.
Yeah, a lot of effort going down for that blue buff, but this is the precursor to actually wanting to find a rotation here for Vici. They find the pink ward, so they know that Vision has spotted them. The question is if they want to commit to going top, or if they want to stay around mid. Twisted Fate's got wave clear, but he's very easily killed.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain what Vici are doing with this.
Okay, they were just putting Shun mid because Lulu wants to recall. Just being around the map being annoying. They didn't have a direct lane to be in. They were waiting for the freeze to break in bottom. So trying to make things happen, but it was a desperation attempt without any success.
Yeah, no, nothing really picked up for Vici Gaming. They're still only about 300 gold ahead of Snake as we're starting to see pretty moderate CS lead opening up for Martin. And once again, it seems like Snake are playing to the same conditions as last time. The only difference being that they don't have Flandre at 3-0-1 this time.
Yeah, so they don't have the kills that they otherwise would have. But in saying that, as you just mentioned, the CS discrepancy between the marksmen is really bad.
Yeah.
The fact that they've had to just throw Shun around the map, try and actually make things happen, but to no avail, has allowed Martin to sit top lane, 1v1 Dandy. And they're just freely farming. I guess there's a difference between the Gnar and the Shen in terms of farm.
Yeah.
But the fact that a Jinx has more farm than a Vayne, pretty scary when one of them is building a BF sword item first.
Yeah, you can see Martin got that IE and the pickaxe. He's just trying to secure whatever gold he can on the top side of the map while Dandy tries to freeze it back against the turret. It's finally going to start heading back towards Martin's way as he continues to farm it up. And again, things are relatively slow and patient in this match. Snake putting so much emphasis on Martin that they're even seeding jungle camps over to him. A lot of importance being pulled out of ZZR this time around as Martin looks to hopefully set a freeze up here if he can quite pull it off, but Dandy's there to try saying no.
Yeah, if Dandy can get rid of at the very least the minions that he wants to farm. I don't think they'll be looking for a freeze here though between the Jinx and the Thresh. Thresh would not even be here without taking minions for that purpose. I guess they're just looking to probably get some items as well into the Jinx. Maybe the boots too will be the next buy, or a completed Infinity Edge depending on the income.
Yeah, recall is completed out of Martin and Ella. Send them to the bottom side. Flandre is a bit slow on the recall, but he's headed towards the top to try to save his top tier 1 turret from Schwan and Mata, who've actually headed up there. World 6 is on that side of the map as well. That could be a bit of a dangerous proposition for Flandre, and seems like he knows it as he decides to take the long path through the jungle to try getting some wards out, play it safe. Whereas it looks like ZZR on the other side looks for something similar.
The fact that a Vayne and a Janna are just so aggressively hitting on a turret indicates the World 6 is nearby. So smart play from Flandre to not go directly to the turret, to look for the jungler and not risk dying and giving up the turret anyway. So they lose what they have to. They don't lose anything else needlessly.
Yeah, they take the top tier 1 turret. However, in that brief window, they cede control over the Dragon Pit to Snake. And it looks like Snake are able to secure their first dragon, effectively denying that 5-dragon rush for Vici while continuing to put more and more gold onto Martin. And that gold lead is open. Flash play finds Bong in the mid lane. There goes the death sentence. He's brought low. Wild Growth is knocked up. Martin Looking for the execution, can't find it. Ella gets knocked back in. Dandy flings him out from the safety of his turret. So much is being blown, and Yu goes down. There goes the rocket. Oh, Dandy's still alive. It's body blocked by Xuan. 2-0 in favor of Vici.
Vici playing that very nicely right there. The teamwork between them completely evident. They counter the pick, I should say. The Thresh, the one engaging their Ella, not working out for them in the end. The Twisted Fate, as I said earlier, very killable. Goes down convincingly to the combo of crowd control out of Dandy, followed by World 6, who actually started that off with an amazing explosive cast, turning it around from the Raptor camp. That guy went massive.
Yeah, you could tell Snake did not see that coming from over the wall. And unfortunately, that is going to get another kill over to Vici Gaming. Very fortunate for Vici Gaming, but finally we now have the 2v2 duo on this bottom side of the map. And
not just yet.
Oh, no. Recall. Yeah, it seems like they decide not to.
So Vici Gaming have 2 kills, and they're conveniently onto the Vayne, who is behind in farm, but ahead in items right now. Blade of the Ruin King finished, compared to the making of the Infinity Edge out of this Jinx. Item cost favoring Vici for their power spike at this exact moment. They've now got all 3 of the turrets compared to 1 as well, starting to snowball the game. This is that period of time, though, where the death by 1,000 cuts needs to live true. Can Vici continue this lead that they've accrued thus far?
Oh, looks like they're going to go for it now. Ella gets knocked back in, dropping the box. ZZR actually trying to re-engage it. Looks like Yu decides to back out. There's Exhaust. Once again, the focus targets from Vici are huge. A double kill from World 6 as he effectively steals away the blue and nets 2 kills for it.
Yeah, so well played from World 6 yet again. The catalyst of his team's success so far. He has been putting in time to ensure that these explosive casts connects. The flash body slam to start it all again. And Vici, we just said it. They need to find a way to utilize the lead that they have with no outer turrets remaining. That's exactly what they just did. They find picks around the blue buff. They can translate that maybe to go back to the top lane, whilst they've got Pung pushing bottom.
Yeah, that split is going to happen, though it looks like, as you mentioned, Dandy heads to the top side of the map while Martin continues to farm up on Scuttle Crab. And, you know, we talked about him being down in gold. I'm pretty sure he's just about even right now as he finishes off his Berserker Greaves and Pung. Getting some nice gold for himself as well. Now up to a needlessly large rod on top of that Morellonomicon, and Vici are hitting some pretty scary mid-game spikes with this.
They definitely are hitting those mid-game spikes. They're starting to get a little bit overwhelming, but Dandy doesn't have any big items completed just yet. Only the mid-game Hex Drinker, so he's still going to have relative strength. It's not going to be comparable once that full item's completed from Flandre, but we can see the impact and the difference between what Dandy has been doing in fights and what Flandre can do. The answer is a lot, because Dandy has an ultimate that is useful for a fight, whereas Flandre's is a denial amount of shield to save a carry.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Flandre get an opportunity to use his ultimate effectively. So, again, things are a little bit slower in favor of Snake, but Vici are taking a very commanding control off of this one. The first early blood, diving the mid tier 1 turret and even knocking it down before finally finding 2 picks at the blue buff. Vici Gaming securely in the driver's seat for this match.
They are definitely in the driver's seat. The question is again going to be, they've got no outer turrets remaining to take. They're the easy objectives. They're out the window. They're already down. They're rubble. What can they actually do here against Snake? We mentioned this last game, Snake's vision control. How do you get to their second turrets when all of the minimap is littered with red dots denying that?
Yeah, it looks like Snake are content to sit back and play defensive with this early deficit. It's only about 3,000 gold, but the fact that Vici have got deep wards, the fact that Vici have got map control, means they might just play it safe. I've never seen that recall. It is amazing. That was awesome. Snake looking for a pick on the World 6 right now. He's going to be caught out here. Stun is going to find him. Doesn't have any flash, and Snake get revenge. Flandre even ulting in just to make sure.
Yeah, World 6 going down. He has been the one engaging for them. He's no longer available, and Snake find a bit of strength behind them. They've got some wind underneath their wings. Yeah. Maybe they want to go for the bottom turret. Can they translate it into anything further, though, is the question. Dandy's got his teleport up now.
Oh, looks like they are going to take the mid-tier 1 Martin with the completed IE and Zerker Greaves. Flandre and you splitting on the other side of the map. Vici responded to that completely wrong. They get picked off, lose 1 member and 2 turrets for basically nothing.
And just like that, the gold difference no longer 3,000, completely down to 1. And that's not really a lead worth mentioning at this stage in the game.
Yeah, amazing play from Snake. Once again, to have the presence of mind to look for that sort of pick, even when behind, hitting that item breakpoint. You now completing his Lichbane Martin. We mentioned with that Infinity Edge, and Zerker Greaves now has a Zeal on top of that. Dragon's up in 6-7 seconds. 5 members of...
Just walk straight past the wall.
Yeah, 5 members. Wait, did he have vision of it?
Yeah, it's a pink ward in the bush.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
It's 6 seconds till the dragon.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to go for that ZZR. Oh, did he smite that? He did. Uh-oh. Yeah, it doesn't look like they can commit to it quite, though. Flandre doesn't have his ultimate in time, though it looks like Snake are continuing to posture on this side of the map. Both teleports are available for those top laners. Recall was just completed out of Pong.
Yeah, I guess the question's going to be if anyone actually wants to fight for this right now. You can see the fact that Martin has a 50 CS advantage. The fact that there's even 2 kills in favor of Vayne, non-existent in terms of relative strength comparisons. It's going to be difficult for Vici to get their way into this fight again. They've got control of their side of the map. Snake actually have barely any vision at this stage in the game. They're relying on a solid Shen engage from that ultimate as well, whereas Na needs to be the big man for Vici. They've got control of the area though, and they're doing it.
Yeah, it looks like Vici are going to try rushing through. Use waiting over the wall. There goes the parallel convergence. It is secured by World 6. ZZR doesn't find the sun. Vici might re-engage as they've got Dandy on the other side, but going to let Snake back out of this one. Ooh, not unless Flandre has something to say about it.
This is very slow. Whoa!
Flash finds Martin. Dandy goes aggressive. Is Martin going to make it out of there? So much is being dropped to try getting him low. He flashes out of the dark passage and goes down. Dandy commits to it. On the other side of the fight, Vici are continuing to provide chase with Schwann. He looks for you. Heal continues to go deep. Flandre goes low.
Oh.
It is going to be picked up by Mata there. And Vici turn it around.
Yeah, Vici, they get the engage this time. Dandy using that Na and actually catching Martin out, followed very well by World 6 again. And these two, we've seen them jungling all game together. Now they're engaging together.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Vici were requiring. I can't even say that word right now. So I'm like, yeah. Anyway, they're going for the Baron as a response immediately.
Yeah, this is going low here. ZZR has his smite. He's also got the chrono break. Jumps over the wall. He goes too soon. Doesn't get the smite. World 6 secures it. Rocket is not going to help. And Vici have just blown this game wide open.
Yeah, the lead that was starting to be closed. We're going to see it again. The fact that Dandy engages World 6, the flash body slam, and even Peng not having an impact in this right now is just still enough to get Martin down. Shun being super aggro on this Vayne, they zone ZZR away with the exhaust. And the rest of this side of Snake, they just have to sit there and die. But most of the effort was from World 6 and Dandy. They're making it happen for their team right now, and they're the ones looking super impressive in this second game.
Yeah, great communication out of Dandy and World 6 in this match. The fact that when we started off seeing Dandy in the top lane and that World 6 was going to replace him, there was a big question of whether or not he could fill those shoes, and it seems like he is doing that and more as he's synergizing with Dandy effectively in the top lane while buying time for Schwann to clean things up on the far side of the fight.
Yeah, they did a lot of work in tandem right there. And the Vayne, 3-0-1, now able to sit in the side, as you said, just do his own thing. Got the Janna to support that. Mata doing exactly what was required of him. And that team fight was really, really convincing. It was very one-sided from the very beginning. But that comes down to the engage, comes down to the execution.
Yeah, very solid fight out of Vici. Now Snake struggling to stay afloat in this one as now Baron buff secured by Vici is going to make sieging those tier 2 turrets much easier. Baron now being applied in 3 lanes. Flandre solo on the bottom side has to deal with 2 members of Vici. And suddenly that 2 members has just become 4 as the blue is now being secured. Schwann, celebratory laugh. Yeah.
And something we touched on last game is that the engage of what was the Snakes team was not that great.
Yeah.
In this game, the adaptation has been the Twisted Fate mid, the Jinx AD carry. So they've changed out, so they've got one reliable piece of crowd control from a Twisted Fate, but if a Twisted Fate is engaging, he's already in range of a Gragas. He's already engaging in range of a Narc. So it's difficult for them to do anything, whereas Vici's drafting phase has completely changed up. They've got the Gnar, the Gragas, they've now got the Lulu still there, and the Janna still there for disengage, but they've got a nice mix now of engage with that disengage to actually let them team fight, whereas Snake struggling to find an answer.
World 6 looks like he might have an answer, and that's called a barrel to the face, but Zap means he can't quite make it there in time. Another Tier 2 falls in favor of Vici Gaming. They don't quite have a wave prepared on the other side of the map, but with Baron buff still up for about 20 to 30 seconds, they might be able to rush over there and take that Tier 2. Though I think Snake are wise to it.
They should know that there's only one turret remaining that they're actually going to commit to here, Vici Gaming. It will be that bottom lane turret. The question is, will Snake want to actually fight for it? They don't feel strong enough to actually give that a go just yet. Vici, the ones in the driver's seat, the ones commanding the fight, it'll come down to if Ella can actually hit that death sentence onto a priority target to ensure that the engage is right. Because if it doesn't connect at all, it's going to be nearly impossible.
Yeah, excellent wave control from Vici, gets them another wave onto the turret, but Snake are able to respond in time. ZZR takes some damage and gets out of there. Dandy actually drops out of Mega Gnar form, so this siege might be a little bit more difficult, but there's at least one more minion wave headed towards that side of the map. Flandre split pushing on the other side of the map. Looks like he might be trying to buy time for the rest of his team. He's got his ultimate, doesn't have his teleport quite yet, but it should be coming off of cooldown right about
2 seconds.
Yeah, really soon.
The Gragas actually using his explosive cask there to try and siege, I guess. He wanted to disengage and said, well, I'm going to use my ultimate to ensure it happens. So the fact that they did use that Gragas ultimate, big cooldown, not going to signal anything further coming out in terms of aggression. So they back off. They're going to reset now. They found themselves a nice gold lead. It's a bit bigger than what it was last time, where Snake brought that back to the team fight. And we were talking about execution. It's still heavily on that execution, but Vici now the ones with a little bit more breathing room in terms of how they can execute.
Yeah, things definitely looking to be going up for Vici Gaming. If they managed to take the win, that would be so great for them as they need points very, very badly. Dragon's up in about 15 seconds. We're 25 minutes in, and with Vici already with Vici already having, that's the proper verb.
Yep.
Yeah, with 2 dragons under their belt, they should be looking for securing that number 3, as that's going to allow them to move around the map that much faster on top of a Lulu Janna Vayne.
You would assume so, but they are being completely zoned away from this area. Snake have spent a lot of time preparing in terms of ward coverage in this area. So the Dragon has been started, although not really convincingly just yet. Dandy's Mega Gnar.
Yeah, we'll see if they go in. Yeah, he's teleporting. Danny's actually really low on his rage bar. Dragon is secured by World 6, and the fight breaks out. Martin's on the back with you. Are they going to be able to stay alive this time? ZZR in the front, trying to clean up. A huge rocket threads the needle for Martin. He gets 1 kill. Exhaust buys time. Schwan now gets onto Martin as Snake's front line has gone low. Ella is very low on the backside. He's actually dead for this one. Dandy goes in. Flandre looking for the shadow dash. He can't quite find it. Pong chasing forward, and Snake are juggling it out just barely. They don't have enough damage. Martin, oh, he was hoping for the kill there. Didn't find it, but he manages to get another one. Turns it around here. A dash is going to find Schwan. He goes low. The rocket homes it around as Martin going to outplay this one. A triple kill. Martin with the fast feet is getting a quadra kill and turning the fight in favor of Snake.
Martin single-handedly right there, ensuring that they win that fight. A fantastic play from this Jinx. Flandre doing his job though, hitting the taunt, ensuring that Jinx got excited once more to allow him to continue to proc that passive. And this guy, Martin, he just was the entirety of that team fight right there. Has evened out his scoreline with the Vayne. And out of the 6 kills that Snake have now accrued, he's all of them. And it is entirely on his back for the next fight.
Oh my gosh, this is huge for Snake that they were able to play this out. I mean, incredible team fight.
Yeah, World 6 actually goes down very quickly. They don't have the Mega Gnar as well. This threading the needle is what started it all. The fact that even hit the Gragas is phenomenal. ZZR Not long for the world. He goes down very quickly, and then Martin just spends a lot of time kiting back. Heal already down, used it just then. You and Flandre, still the heroes of this situation, as they're the ones trying to tank everything up and enable the rest of the side. Dandy gets super low, doesn't actually go down, waits for that Mega Gnar, but that's one. Gets excited once, the taunt connects, allows Martin to continue. The second auto gives him enough move speed to dodge the Gnar ultimate, and then the third one allows him to clean up the rest of the fight.
Yeah, amazing play from Martin there. Definitely an incredible team fight. Now he's got a last Whisper on top of it. Not going to have to worry about Dandy getting away with just one little bar of health this next time around. And suddenly Snake are on the offensive here. They're pushing awfully far forward.
They've got the Jinx level 14, so max range possible with those rockets. The last Whisper's there, so the crits are going to be hurting. Only a Randuin's Omen in terms of armor, and that's only on Dandy. Everyone else has got magic resistance or damage stacked. It's going to be very difficult to deal with this Jinx in the coming fights.
Mega Gnar just gets procced by Dandy. He is going full tank now, finishing off that Randuin's and a Banshee's fail. But again, he's got to contest with that terrifying force of Martin. And with a team based around keeping Martin alive, looks like it might be a little bit tough. Though Vici, are they going for a desperation Baron? Can they catch Snake on the back foot here?
They have straight up started it. Twisted Fate's ulted in. They're trying to stop it. Snake.
ZZR chases forward, doesn't manage to land the parallel convergence, even the Stand United used by Flandre, but that's a lot of ultimate. Snake.
They've got the inside lane now. They can just go straight mid.
Oh yeah, they're doing exactly that. They've only got one minion. Yu is not going to be able to keep the turret up for too long. Martin gets one auto, but he isn't quite able to get through the Eye of the Storm from Mata. And they decide to back up.
They don't actually get the turret, but Snake, you can tell the Vici starting to feel the pressure. The Desperation Baron was a nice idea. They didn't actually get what they were looking for. The vision control from Snake still definitely there, and only now Vici looking to clear that. It was almost like a test. If we start the Baron, can Snake actually respond? The answer was yes, so now they're looking to use it more as a bait tool.
Yeah, but that's the most terrifying test you've ever taken. Whereas if you get it wrong, you, I don't know, get your hand cut off or something.
You get your hand cut off. I was going to say maybe you just fail from the one test, but that's a more extreme version. I like that. If you fail this test, you lose your hand.
In League of Legends High School, you're either challenger or you're handless.
Man.
Oh, once again, they're going back to the Baron. Looks like Vici putting a lot of weight onto this one. ZZR getting up as quick as he can. His fight just comes forward. 3,000 health going down to 2 as it's being rushed down. Flandre goes for the taunt. They're going to have to try turning this into a fight as there's a huge knockup. Flandre gets in, but again, Martin is untouched on the back. He's still standing. ZZR still alive as well. He's going to have to run out of this. Yu takes some more damage as World 6 continues to chase with the rest of his team. They try to get some slow onto Yu. Pound flashes forward, doesn't land the Glitter Lance, but he manages to bring down Yu. ZZR still alive, and Martin going for the Flame Chompers, looking for one. A double kill picked up Pong, looking to clean this fight up huge. Oh, the Lantern barely gets Shen out of there. And Vici pick up 2 kills and the Baron.
Vici winning this game through the Baron for themselves right now. It's twice they've able to translate the Baron randomly out of nothing and then get the entire map control from that. They shouldn't have been able to actually successfully complete the Baron without, at the very least, a big trade out of Snake. They had the mid lane control. They just didn't have control of the Baron area. The pressure was there, though, from Vici. They baited the Baron twice. They just did it the third time. And by the time Snake actually reacted to it being there, it was at 3,000 health. Only the Shen was close enough to have a chance at stealing it. Very smart decisions from Dandy and the rest of Vici.
Yeah, great play out of Vici Gaming. They're 8,000 gold ahead right now. Dragons up in 10 seconds. Pings coming out of Snake. And there is a huge wave on that bottom side of the map. Dandy's already looking to show himself to escort that minion wave under the tier 2 and end up dropping it down. As this is going to be the last tier 2 turret going down for Snake as Vici continue to press forward with their advantages. The turret falls. They've still got that minion wave. Look for some pressure onto the inhibitor turret. Some damage finds World 6, but he's nice and tanky at this point.
Yeah, they're pressuring it. They want it down.
Yeah, Dandy's rushing forward. He's actually really close to Mega Gnar. The turret's taking a lot of hits here. Martin tries to clean it up. ZZR takes some punishment, but The wave is successfully cleared. Here's another one, and immediately Vici dive, a huge stun goes out from Dandy. Martin's alive on the backside, but Ella not going to be for long as the rest of Vici chase forward. Flandre keeps him alive. Schwan cleans it up, and it looks like Vici are going to end this match rather convincingly. 3 kills, 4 kills, 5 kills. Oh no, the last steal from Dandy. Oh man, an amazing play from Vici Gaming.
He dove the Nexus for the 4th kill, but Scumbag Dandy using that hop to ensure he's the one with the 5th kill. Vici again. They win this game through Barons exclusively, basically. Yeah. They had one bad team fight around the Dragon, they had a second bad team fight around the exact next Dragon, but then they just go for the Baron and they win the game through that.
Yeah, and just like that, it's 1-for-1 between Snake and Vici Gaming. An amazing turnaround. And Vici, it was a little touch and go after that fight with Martin.
It was. Martin had a very good fight, 4 kills for himself. He was becoming big, but they had to force the QSS buy out of him. And even through that Quicksilver sash, he was not able to get out of the face of this ridiculously overbearing frontline of Vici that is just Dandy in World 6 constantly. Just right there. And even that last fight, it was Schwan.
Schwan was so aggressive on that Lulu, doing some serious damage. You can see Dandy on your screen right now, probably feeling pretty excited about that match.
Definitely. It was a great game from all of Vici, and it's something that they should have been doing in the first game, the draft. The idea was there, but in this second game, they drafted a very similar concept, a very similar play style.
Yeah.
But they actually drafted it better. They had engage options, they disengage options. Their team fighting was superior, and they executed much cleaner than what they did in the first one.
Very solid play out of Vici Gaming. You can see right now, Martin not looking too happy. I mean, he had an exceptional performance. He played really well that time around, but just wasn't able to get the 2-0. And now that that game's over, as it's all said and done, that brings Vici out of the tie for 7th, or, well, 8th, and actually puts them securely in 7th at 21 points. And Snake on the other side, they managed to get 1 win with that first game, bringing them to 24 points.